let's go back to this Ana Kasparian. And we was talking about this before. Now, she's online talking about how they're attacking her husband and, you know, all this stuff, and she's not going to be intimidated and all this kind of stuff, right? And my thing is this, man. Don't feel bad for Ana Kasparian, but watch this right here. Let me just put this right here.
We have a rule.
Let me turn that. My bad. Here we go right here. Listen to this right here.
Get it out of the way, kind of send a message about who I am, what works with me and what doesn't work with me. And one thing that I can be very clear about is attempts to intimidate me don't work. So let's talk about what I mean. Over the weekend, I noticed that I have become a target of one of these pro-Israeli groups. It's a shadowy group, doesn't disclose who it's funded by and what they're really about. It's called Canary Mission. Canary Mission happens to be one of those pro-Israel groups that has targeted all sorts of pro-Palestine, pro-peace students at universities like Columbia, Harvard, Tufts. Think Mahmoud Khalil. Unfortunately, he became one of the targets of Canary Mission. So did Rumiesa Ozturk, who simply co-wrote, I should say, an op-ed for her student newspaper at Tufts University, calling for the divestment of Israeli companies because of the ongoing genocide in Gaza. So typically, they engage in these targeting campaigns, and typically these targeting campaigns work. In fact, the individuals that I just spoke about spent time behind bars because of what Canary Mission does. They have a website essentially doxing anybody who's been critical of Israel. And I think that they're particularly gross. If you go on their website, they also target other organizations.
Okay, so she's basically going on about who these people are and that they're pro-Israel and all this stuff like that. And my thing is this, man, all you gotta do is walk away. That's all you gotta do, man. But the thing is that you wanna be rich and famous, Anna. You want to be one of the people that get on TV and be the one that everybody talks about. Well, if that's the case, then you're gonna have to shut your damn mouth about Israel. Because for one, they don't play that. And for two, that's the price of fame. Look around you, Anna. Look at all the people that lost their lives doing what you do. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is like, it's one thing to not care about what happens to you, but now you got stuff happening to your husband. And you still won't do what's necessary to protect him from that. Because you have to be the one that goes up there. But you would have a perfectly fine life without being on TV. You would have a perfectly normal, fine life. You would be so happy. None of this stuff would be happening to you or your family. But you ain't gonna do that because you don't give a fuck, right? And here's the truth. You did this to somebody else. Don't feel bad. People out there, listen to me. Oh, let me jump over here real quick. Listen to me. Don't feel bad for Anna. You know what I'm saying? Because she did the same thing to Jimmy Dore. You know what I mean? Tried to get him ruined, tried to get him canceled, only because he was telling the truth. And she told him, "You better shut up, or I'm gonna put it out there that you had some kind of sexual impropriety toward me." But check this out, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. Don't get upset now. You know what I'm saying? Now that it's happening to you. You know what I'm saying? Don't get upset now. Watch this right here.
Them. That was when he made the comment, and he didn't make a comment about a news skirt. He made a comment about how sexy my legs were in front of my students. And it was degrading, obviously, and I
like how she says obviously. It was obviously degrading. So now they're telling two different stories. So she's saying my story is fun. But Cenk is sure that story's about Anna, that she bent over, news skirt, the whole deal. What that story shows, Cenk and Anna are too dumb to understand that they just put a stake in their own heart. What happened was, that confirms my story to be true, because I was telling that in December before I was being threatened with a blackmail from Ana Kasparian. That was back then. So that was Steph and I having a inside joke to each other. And Cenk says everybody knows he was talking about Ana. How if that story never happened because she said it didn't happen? She's now saying that wasn't the problem. The problem wasn't that I said nice new skirt and everybody laughed. So if you don't know the story, Ana came in one time wearing a skirt that was so short when she bent over.
Now he's getting ready to tell the story, right? But just remember, she did this as a lie to try to ruin this man. You know what I'm saying? Because she's a rich fuck. She wants to be a rich fuck. And she gonna do anything it takes to get there. And no matter who gotta fall. If her husband gotta go, if Jimmy Dore gotta go, it don't matter who it is. She gonna do it to make sure she get on top to be one of these rich fucks that she complain about every day. She's had a show called Billionaire Tears, segment Billionaire Tears and all. But she don't give a fuck, man. She wanna be one of them.
Over, she flashed the whole newsroom, and everybody was horrified. It was like, what do we do? What do we say? What do we do? And I just said, hey, Ana, nice new skirt. And it was such an outrageous situation that everybody laughed. And they laughed so hard, it embarrassed her. And I didn't want her to be embarrassed, so I apologized to her, and I told her, don't feel bad. I said, I'm sorry you feel bad. I'll never mention or make mention of your clothes ever again. Don't worry about it. And that's not my. And I gave her a card the next day saying the same thing. And she's like, "Oh, Jimmy, get out of here. You don't need to do that." So now she's saying that never happened. Now she's saying it's a totally different story. But Cenk is saying it was the nice news skirt showing her flashing the newsroom story. So do you see how when you lie, they can't even get. Now they don't even agree on what the story is.
So there you go, man. That was some time ago, but I was gonna put that on my while you were sleeping segment. Stay tuned for that, but I had to share it here because it goes along with what I'm saying. But like I said, she done the same type of stuff. She is willing to do the same thing to somebody. She don't care. Don't watch that video I just played of her crying about this in my last video. Don't watch that and think she's, you need to feel bad for her because she's one of them. She one of these rich fucks that want to be on TV. That's all it is, man. Let's go.